Welcome to the Gaunt Marchers Freebooters on the Frontier Edition, session 303. I just wanted to show my players this awesome T-shirt. Have you seen that?
Nice.
Which is the Fear of the Black Dragon podcast, which Jason just about lost the silver medal to, I think.
I did lose a medal to it, but I think I was probably third. Yes, I was actually sitting with Jason Cordova during the ceremony, and we it was pretty tense.
I can imagine. All right, so as always, we start the session a little bit in like a menu kind of portion of the adventure. Like if you would play, a video game, you have the menu part of interacting with people, buying resources and stuff, and then you have the actual adventure. So the first thing we have to do is we assume that you spent like a week in the town, and if you stay in town, I also assume, but correct me if I'm wrong, that you stay in the inn, the Rat and Monkey. And that would trigger the move Recover. When you spend 1 week of downtime resting in town, pay your cost of living. The cost is 12 silver pieces minus your charisma. So your charisma modifier. And that would allow you to roll your hit dice twice. And you can use the points to heal your hit points and or your debility score. And then secondly, Odon has to pay for Tamas. I think the deal you struck with him was 5 silver pieces per day, and you were 5 days in the forest.
It was 2 silver pieces, it says.
Oh, was it? Okay. He was trying to haggle. So that's that. And then, so what are you doing during the week? Let's start with Ibis. So maybe to paint a little bit the scene, to describe what's going on in this week. At the end of the week, there's always the week market, and a day before the week market started, there was a like traveling merchants coming from the west, from Alamein, and they they have pack animals laden with like ivory and spices. They also look quite rich. They seem to be on the way to Eelton. And there's also again the dwarves on the market, and they have a stall on their own where they sell metal ingots. So that's that's what's new in town, I guess. So what do you do? You're muted.
I think that Ibis is he got back to town just a bit hungry. He had survived death. He's beaten up. I think Ibis is going to spend his time enjoying the coin in his pocket. He is eating like a madman, eating like a prisoner, drinking, and resting.
Can you remind us what Ibis looks like?
Ebus is a man of average height. He is covered in nicks and scars. He's missing a few teeth. But despite not being the most attractive man, he always seems to dress nicely. Uh, he, whatever the state of the clothing he has, he tries to make it look good. Since we first met Ebus, the clothing is getting a little bit better.
And
Oh, is he missing an eye?
very important to mention, the right eye, I remember.
Yeah, I think he's getting a nicer eye patch.
And so you want to primarily like relax, hang out in the tavern, eat well, and you know, enjoy the fact that you survived death twice.
Correct, sir.
All right, and then
I think that also whatever Dougal wants.
Say that again.
Dougal? It was Dougal, right, who brought me back from the dead?
Yes.
So whatever he wants in town this week, he can have.
Which brings us to our cleric. What is Dougal doing during the week?
I think I've been affected by this episode with a unicorn, and I'll be probably mostly just quiet, praying, and mostly to myself.
And where would you do that? Is it like at the edge of town? Do you go to the temple? Do you go into the forest?
I'll probably visit this temple we saw last time, this enduring temple. See if the festival has started or not, or they're still preparing for that.
They're still preparing for that?
Okay. And yeah, just walking a lot, I guess, through town. Long walks and going back to the inn, drinking, sleeping, but yeah, probably mostly to keeping it to myself.
And can you describe how Dougal is looking?
Well, he's probably around 40 years old, has some strange marks on his neck, some black marks, wears leather armor, and yeah, it's quite strong-bodied, I guess. And yeah, probably this week he's more, like somber, or like cast this shadow of having attacked this unicorn, and still quite a bit affected.
Just looking at your, let's see, you also have missing teeth.
Yeah, that's probably from my youth, from as a child, I guess, getting fights. Yeah.
And so do you ever preach on the town square or somewhere to people? Do you try to convert them to your belief, or do you keep to yourself?
I try to help probably, and yeah, not so much preaching as trying to comfort some. Probably if I see people on the street having nothing, yeah, trying to comfort them.
To the what's it called, the downtrodden, which is
probably it's part of my faith. Yeah,
the tenet of your faith, exactly. And then we have Odon, fighter. Jason, can you introduce him? How does he look like?
Odin is a battle-weary, battle-hardened, and battle-scarred warrior of Goat Bridge. He's seen quite a few battles. He's often known as a hothead and constantly telling stories or anecdotes of his past sojourns and journeys, mostly tall tales, but there must be a hint of truth there, as he has been a pretty acceptable warrior with the group for the last 3 sessions.
You were also part of a mercenary company, I remember. Is that true? Or you fought in some kind of war, at least?
Yeah, that's probably true. He did say that at one point.
but we don't know. And it's also maybe
some caravan guarding as well.
So you might even, there's a slight chance that you might even recognize, you know, one or the other guardsmen of, you know, the traders who just came to town. Because they come from Alamein, and that is like the hub for caravans traveling to Goldbridge and further west.
All right. Well, this seems like a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, my next question would be, what are you doing during the week?
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say that. So this seems like a perfect opportunity to get rid of some of this loot that we've been stashing. So I would like to do that.
Awesome. You're trying to find a buyer for the gemstones, I guess?
Yeah, we have 2 emeralds and a wizard's staff that we wouldn't mind.
That's true.
Passing.
And that is find the right buyer. Let's see. Find a buyer. When you spend 1 day of downtime seeking to turn an art object or other treasure into coin, hope is nothing.
Ooh, nice. I got a 9.
Awesome. No one can help you today, but you can try again tomorrow. Which is, you know, if it's during the whole week and it doesn't happen today, you don't find someone today, maybe it was the day before the caravan arrived, you can always try next day.
So I have a question. We used 1 day to rest, right? So that gave us our stuff back. So I could spend a point of luck today to make this a 10.
That is true. Luck does not, you don't recover luck.
Oh, ever. Okay. Nice. All right. Well, that makes sense. I will spend a point of luck, though.
Awesome. So
I'm sick of carrying this stuff around.
Exactly. But life is difficult. You also need to negotiate. So you find someone. Let's see who that person is. Just grab my dice. So this is someone from Alamein. He's let's see, a bull-necked, bronze-skinned merchant, and he introduced himself as Abu Fazl, and he says, "These are pretty gemstones you have, my friend."
Hard won, Abu Fazl.
But how much are they worth? We don't know. And he, you know, he looks at them, spits at them, and rubs it to his chest. And I think you're trying to get a good price, which is, let's see, negotiate. And negotiate is, I would assume it's plus charisma. Let's see. Yes. So
that sounds accurate. Let's see here. 6.
He says, I don't know. They are rough cut, very roughly cut. I give you, so he offers you 10 silver pieces per gemstone.
One's larger than the other, and they were found on dwarves. So Odin is definitely unsure. He feels like this Abu Fazl is trying to pull a fast one on him.
Yeah, you get the impression. You can just hold on to them.
Can I? I'm going to have Tomas with me, and I'm going to actually try to be intimidating. I'm going to see if I can intimidate this guy into giving us a better price.
Awesome. I would say, like, without rolling, Tamas, he's a broad-shouldered guy, and let's see what his quality is. I think it's 0. Where is he? Go bridge, Tamas. But yeah, he's one of his tags is hardy. I think he definitely helps, gives you a +1 on the roll. So after Tamas looks at Abulfazl with furrowed eyes, the guy says, okay, 10, I agree. 10 is a bit on the cheap side. Let's make it 25 for the big one and 20 for the small one.
Well, all right, that sounds legitimate.
Awesome. You write that down. And then let's go back to Sherman, to Ibis. You do. So my first question for you is, in the tavern, what is like an unusual feature that you see in the tavern? What you normally like a unique or surprising feature of the inn?
I think that the inn has a old I think it has this huge obviously old, well done painting on the wall. Maybe the painting describes some moment or in past history of the region.
Awesome. Yeah, I would assume that it's actually a painting from the height of the empire. So maybe it's even like the crowning of the emperor or something.
Okay.
And then I have a question for Dugal, also about the inn, because you spent some time there. Dugal, what is your favorite spot in the tavern and why?
I think there is a small table for 2 probably on a corner. I like it there because it's has no light, it's in the shadows. I feel pretty feel comfort there.
Yeah, it's like safe. You can see the whole tavern,
Yeah.
but people can't immediately see you.
Yeah.
Which is probably very advantageous at the moment, because there's one of the dwarves coming in, and let's give them a name, or at least an appearance. Yeah, another barrel-chested dwarf comes in, and I guess she is staggering a little bit, walking up to the bar and ordering with a very loud voice, like a keg of liquor. Are you trying to, I don't know?
No, I guess no. I'll just stay and listen and see what he does.
All right, and then let's cut back to is Odin in the tavern as well, or would he rather like walk over the market?
I think I'll let these guys deal with the dwarves. I still, I'm really tempted with this sealed letter of Zakamala I'm always been curious about that, so I want to look around and see if any of these new guys know anything about Zakamale or Alamakaz or all these wizards that we've been getting stories about.
So our wizard, Alice Must, is not with us, but I would assume that he left the letter for you to do whatever you want with them. So you can definitely ask around for the wizards and what people know about them. But you can also, you know, try to open the letter, or I don't know. So would you rather want to look for rumors about the wizards?
Well, supposedly one of the rumors that we had was a servant of Zakamala wants you to bring them a big mushroom pod from a village up north.
Yeah.
So apparently we can find this servant fairly easily. And we also have a servant of Alamakaz that we could talk to.
Indeed. So they're not always in the village, but they do. Both of them come to the village always when there's the market day. At least they did for the last 3 weeks. And you would probably find one of them at the, herbalist. That one of the this androgynous herbalist lady you met last time. Let's see which one it is. It's Zakamala, the servant of Zakamala. And the other guy is probably hanging around the apothecary.
Well, the androgynous herbalist is kind of my friend. I tipped her well last time, so I would like to find her there, or the servant there.
Yeah, so the lady is actually in a talk with him. The servant he's dressed in like this gray shabby robes, and he has like a very what's it called, pointy chin. He looks a bit rat-like, to be honest. He's a person, but with ratty features. And he's leaning against the pole of the the stall, and is chatting with the lady. And when she sees you, she actually waves you over.
Happily saunter over there. Not too fast.
And she says, "Oh, my friend, good to see you."
And you, androgynous herbalist of the market.
She extends her hand. Piroshka.
I am Odan. Unless, was that her name or was that some greeting? I don't know.
No, Piroshka is her name.
Okay, good. Who are you talking here with, Piroshka?
This mysterious stranger visits me every week, and every week he's trying to get a good deal on my fine herbs. And every time I have to tell him, he just gets the price that everyone else gets. Say hello to Zandor. And, Zandor also greets you. And he says, so this is Zakamala's servant. So let's see. Yeah, he says, you look like an able fighter. I have a deal for you. I'm looking for a big mushroom pot, like yay big. You probably need something like a cart or something to carry it. But it is rumored to grow in what's his name called? In the village in the north. Let's see. It is. Hold on. have named it. Bullshit. It's called. 1 second. It's called Darkmoor. So it's about it's a 10 days travel through the forest, but the wizard will pay you in a chest of silver.
It seems like a fine deal, Zondor. How much would he pay for this? And I'll show the sealed scroll case with the sealed letter.
And he comes closer to you, and you keep it in your hands.
No, I'll snatch it. I'll pull it away if he tries to grab it.
Yeah.
Psych.
Zakamala would be very, very interested about the content of this letter.
How interested, Zondor? I bet you you would be his favored servant if you were to bring this back.
I don't have much money on me, unfortunately, but all I have, which is 25 silver pieces, will be yours.
I feel like that Alameen merchant in the market town robbed me once already this week. I'm not sure that's enough. Do you have anything else? Maybe a magic ring or something that could assist us finding your mushroom pod?
Let's see. What would he have? I'll give you this healing potion as well. And he shows like he grabs a flask from under his robes.
Those are two good options. What else can you do? You know anything of the sorcerer to the north? The summoner sorceress. Wizard?
Yeah, sorceress.
Odin obviously is a little confused about what to call them.
He comes a little bit closer still, and he whispers, "Better not talk about her here. Let's meet up somewhere more private."
Where do you suggest?
And he grabs your clothes and pulls you towards the edge of town.
All right, yeah, I'll go with him. I just had an answer for you. I was thinking that the mercenary company that Odin worked with was like they were affiliated with the Black Rose Thieves Guild often, so they're called something like Burnt Thorn or Onyx Thorn, or Onyx Thorn sounds good, right?
Onyx Thorn sounds metal. Okay, let's have a look at the tavern again, at our other heroes. So the atmosphere in the tavern has definitely gotten more interesting because that dwarven lady is getting hammered, and she she's talking to strangers just sitting at random tables and making a lot of ruckus. Do you do anything? Do you just observe the situation?
Try to hear what she's saying to these strangers. Is she imparting information, or is she looking for information?
I think she's looking just for trouble. She's shouting random insults at people, saying, "You're all the same, all the same. One of you killed them. One of you killed my brother. I know it. And if I find you, I will bury my axe in your skull, scum." And the other people in the inn are not looking for trouble at all. They are backing away.
Yeah. I might give the eye over to Dougal. It might be time for us to find somewhere else to be for a while.
Yeah, I
like,
agree. I think.
I like look at him, give him the nods up as I take my last drink out of the my cup, and I'm gonna make for the door. I was trying to wait for Odin to get back with some money, but I'll just go ahead and start my shopping now.
Cool. Yeah, she's definitely. You can leave the tavern unnoticed. And where do you want to go? Like, where do you start your shopping spree?
Well, first he's just happy to be at a tavern without getting into it with the dwarf, so it really doesn't matter. I look at Dougal, say I know Odin wants to get back on the road soon. I guess we should probably go out and get some gear for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think last time we went without ration.
Yeah. Somehow we left town without food.
So you want to buy rations? Anything else? I mean, I do remember that your armor got destroyed when the unicorn hit you on the chest.
I think that he would be some new armor, a sword, either a healer's kit or and that's it until we hear from Odin what's going down.
So you want to buy an armor, a sword,
and a new adventurer's kit.
Awesome. So I think you're going to. I mean, we don't have to play the whole scene. You're going to the smith, which is a drunkard called Old Tom. So he's. I think he's drunk when you arrive. You do you buy your stuff off him. You can also go to the apothecary to buy poultices, I think. And then on the market itself, you can buy adventuring gear. Just subtract the market price from from the rules book. And Dougal, do you wanna buy anything?
Yeah, I buy some rations and adventure gear. Yes, and yeah, yes, that's
the two things. All right. I also think that at the end of your shopping tour, you see Odon and a dodgy-looking guy in a gray robe going towards the old bathhouse on the edge of town. And really? Maybe interesting for Ibis. There's also a merchant walking through over the market, and he is very nonchalant with his what's it called, the pouch where he stores his money.
I was trying to be good here, but Odin has taken way too long to get back here with our monies. Probably has been spending it up. It won't hurt that much. I mean, it's a traveling merchant, right? He's not a town folk. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting anybody local. All right, let's do this.
That's the right spirit. And I mean, you can do either. You can either follow Odin or rob the merchant blind. What is Dougal doing? You definitely see that that Ibis has his eyes on the pouch.
I do nothing probably. Just see him.
I'll nod at Dougal and go, "Hey, there goes Odin. Find out where our money is."
All right. So, Dougal, are you following Odin?
Yeah, probably yes.
You can also try to convince Ibis to not break the law, or stay there to help him out if shit hits the fan.
No, I'll leave him to his business.
All right. So, how do you go about stealing the money?
This merchant, he's walking along. Is he getting into? Does he ever go into like a crowd of people?
Yeah, definitely. The market is not that big, so there are a lot of these stalls, but it's really full of people. There's music playing. There's like a storyteller who attracts a small crowd, and the merchant is actually standing there listening to a story. But he's completely, he's in a group of people.
Okay, that's perfect. I'm going to come up from behind. I'm pretending like I'm listening to the story also. And it's just a bump, just a little bumps. Hey, sorry, man. And then I walk off.
Yeah, he just he turns his head, not even saying anything, and then turns back. Do you have a move for that? Let's see.
Yeah, it is purloin.
Let's see. Purloin.
+2.
When you take something out from under someone's nose, roll with dex.
Is that 8? So 10. 10.
Perfect. The money is yours, and the merchant won't recognize it until he pays for something. He tries to pay for something.
I
Cool.
walk away, and I'll get somewhere where I can look at it. And my first thought is, why do I go adventuring again? This is way easier.
that was too easy. Cool. So let's have a look at Odin and the mysterious stranger. So the this guy he does enter the bathhouse, and from the inside you see the old pools. There are columns. The whole thing is like this blue weird marble. The roof is the roof has tiny holes in it where the light shines through to emulate like a night sky or something. And he turns around and are you following?
Yes. Did I notice Dougal at all, or no? Is he joining me or no?
Dougal, are you trying to make yourself seen?
No, I'll keep a distance for now.
Yeah. So unless you like what's it called? You scout the scenery or something.
Nope. I'm fine then.
Okay. The guy turns around and he says, "What do you know about the sorceress?"
What do you know about the sorceress?
Well, let's say she's a friend, a mutual friend.
A mutual friend of mine?
No, a mutual friend of the, let's say, covenant of like-minded spell slingers.
Well, I think the coven is one short.
She's dead?
She is, and entrapped behind an ensorcelled lock.
So she was into weird summonings. You don't, by any chance, have seen something out of the ordinary?
Perhaps. Is it worth anything to you or your master?
Might be worth for anyone living in 1,000 miles radius if she has summoned something that shouldn't have been.
Is there anything that she could summon that should have been summoned?
Yes, there's a small chance that also happens once in a while. But
well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about then.
I'm pretty sure that Zakamala would pay you personally for information about the sorceress. And also if you could bring him the letter.
How much are we thinking?
I can't speak for him, but I know that he was like, you should tell him this, but I have the feeling that he was always afraid she would side with Allah's Must. Sorry, Allah.
Allah's Must. I'm like, oh, that's our buddy.
That's your buddy.
Allah Makaz.
Allah Makaz.
What? How far is it to Zakamala?
Let's see.
And what is the sorceress known as?
So it's a swamp. So it's one hex. 1, 2, 3. About a week. About a week traveling. And the sorceress is known as Nazrin.
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 Oh, yes. Very well. So if I am taking the sealed letter to Zakamala, then perhaps I could trade you this wizard's staff for the healing potion and your 25 silver pieces.
Deal.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, he looks really happy. He really pleased with himself. And that's when Dougal, arrives at the. I think you hear the letter end, like the end of the discussion.
Yeah, once I see there's no danger, I guess I'll approach.
Ah, good friend Dougal. You move like the Lady of Darkness.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that the guy, goes for his new acquired stuff when he sees this a dark figure. But then when you say it's a friend, he relaxes.
I'm going to tell Zodran here that, or Zondor, that we must convene and see if we can immediately head for Zakamala, for we have possible other opportunities for employment. And I'll let him know. Is he going to accompany us, or is he staying here?
He says, if you're going to Zakamala, I will definitely accompany you.
All right, so I'm going to say we'll let you know tonight. We leave in the morning, but I haven't decided yet what our course of action is. So I'll happily leave Zondor here, and Dougal, myself, will find Ibis, and we'll discuss, since it seems like that one guy who we sometimes forget about seems to be missing again.
Yeah, maybe it slipped your memory again. All right, so I think we fast forward a little bit. You're at the inn. the place is you know, beaten up a little bit. There's broken wood, but the dwarf lady has left. So let's see. Yeah, I have one last question to get an idea about the tavern a little bit, and this one is for Odon. So this place seems to be like a meeting place for adventurers and has been for some time. What detail of the tavern tells you or makes it obvious that there have been many adventurers who frequented the inn before?
So there is there's two details that I want to create. Okay, one being the skeleton of a rat and a monkey embracing each other, and it could be more, which everyone finds to be vulgar if they are vulgar. If not, they just seem to be good friends. And and the second,
fucking a monkey, you want to say?
Well, I was thinking the monkey might be. I don't know, whichever. It's hard to tell, really, right? What they're just skeletons, but occasional necromancers like to animate them, and then we might know. But other than that, is a large table with a map around Goat Bridge that people, adventurers, can sometimes scratch notations on, and occasionally people can find information about the surrounding area on.
Awesome. I think that's exactly the table that you're sitting on or at.
So we're at a big table. We're not at Dougal's favorite corner table that just him and Ebis sit at, apparently. I don't know.
Now that you're three people, I assume you want to go to a bigger table.
Yeah, we want to hash out some information. Maybe we could figure out where the twin mounds are, where the goatmen are, and then compare that to the information that I've received from about Zakamala. And I will also give each guy 30 silver pieces from the money that I acquired, and we have a healing potion. So I bought some stuff already. Is it okay to buy stuff, or do I have to actually roll something to buy the stuff, or no?
That's completely perfect.
All right, good. All right, so, all right, go ahead.
Just to make your decisions even worse, like to give you more options, I assume that in the last couple of days, you've also spoken to a lot of people around the village. So if everyone rolls a d20, you get a new rumor.
9.
That is cool. 9. I will copy it. The rumor is there's a magic bathhouse in the bogs run by a fairy. She can cure you of all ailments and even lift curses.
Okay.
Do we know what the bog is called? Sorry.
The bog is called the Everslough. Well, it could refer to the Everslough or to the knee-high sea. That's a bit ambiguous. Both are bogs. So where's Odin?
I rolled a 17 then.
Uh, 17. Let's have a look. Oh, that's interesting. The old Bandit King has been cursed and put in a gibbet somewhere in Kyrgyz forest. The map to his legendary treasure is inscribed in one of his teeth. So let me grab this one for Keynote for Dougal. And then Ibis.
I rolled an 8.
2 wizards living in towers not far from each other who have been competing for many years to prove who's the most powerful. They are both looking for swords to hire to help them to get the edge over the other. They are brothers. which is not really news for you, I think. Well, a little bit. Oh, yeah, you wrote it down. Cool. So,
How much coin did I purloin from the merchant?
Oh, very true.
Or what did I purloin from the merchant?
That is also true. Let me roll on my random table for these kinds of things. This is a 9. Oh, wow. That's not too bad. This is actually so it's in silver pieces. It's 80, and then you also got a minor trinket. So let me see, what is this? So it's a D20. Yeah, it's some kind of it is also a flask with a milky substance in it. But the flask itself is like with intricate details. It is from silver. The flask itself is worth something, and you don't know what's inside. You can open it and you see that the milky substance.
Really see Ebus debating whether or not to just open that, pour out whatever the heck that is, care less, and keeping it. But he'll think about it for a second. In the past, does Odin know that I grift a little?
Odin, what do you think?
That you what?
That I steal?
Oh, I would imagine so. I feel like we have been we've been buddies for a while. And also, I probably know you're running from the Black Rose because of my time with the Onyx Thorn.
Okay. Then I think I will pour 80 coin onto the table. I will push 20 coins towards Odin. I'll keep 20 for myself, and I'll give 40 to Dougal for once again for saving my bacon last time.
What's this all about then?
Oh, just some money I found. It was just laying in the street.
So Odin feels a little bad about selfishly keeping the 5 silver back when he split it with the other guys. So he calls for some drinks. Well, it's drinks on me then. So I missed part of it, but do we think that one of the skeleton with where we got the magical energy is the dude with the? We need to go back there now to get this treasure.
Yeah, I think
map.
So. Yeah.
All right. So what else do we got going on? Which do we want to wait for Quixote before we go to Zakamala? Do we want to go to the woods into the Kyrgyz forest and then head over to what do you guys think?
Well, we could try to deal with the goat men if you'd want. I'm not really I don't see the money in that. But you were interested in these 2 wizards. Find anything else about them?
I have. It seems that they're part of a coven with the sorceress the summoning sorceress that we found named Nazreen beneath the pool. And I actually have a guide to lead us who will give us a vast treasure or pay handsomely anyway for the letter that we found in Nazreen's abode and information about what she's been doing. it sounds like he's got a pretty hard on issue with his with Alamakaz, and siding with one wizard or the other may grant us some boons.
Yes, also it'll of course make enemies of the other if they live.
Indeed.
What do you
But
think?
I think it seems like it might be on the way past the burnt gibbet tree.
Yeah, I think we should do this trip with this to the sorcerers, and yeah, make a stop at the gibbet tree. That for sure.
Because hey, this is twofold. We can take this Zodron guy to help us deal with that hellfire that was there. If anything happens, if we say that we're going to see Zakamala, and then he can help us wherever that one guy, whatever his name was, would normally do that. It seems like without him, it seems unfortunate, but I fear we have little choice, my friends.
So if you look at the small map from last session, it's on the map tab. You can see Goat Bridge, the Gibbet Tree, the Wizard Cave, the Barrow Mounds, and to the right, to the north, you see on the edge of the forest there is this village. I think that's also inscribed in the table, and you can also see like vaguely the wizard tower to the east, which is also inscribed in the table. So a little bit to get an idea where things are. And on that map is a bit more realistic concerning distances. It's two hexes through the woods per day, and it's one hex through the swamp.
Nice. So everything seems like it's coming together to visit this wizard Zakamala.
All right. Enough talking about it then. Let's go do this.
All right.
Let's go.
Shall we make like a 5 minutes break,
Okay.
and then we come back to the Gaunt marches?
All right.
Good.
Hey, Horse. So I was just thinking, I didn't thank you for listening to Random Screed. That's pretty cool.
I find it super interesting to get like an unfiltered, direct approach to someone.
Is it weird then to game with me when you're like, oh man, I just heard that you were arguing with your wife the other day or whatever?
No, it's not weird. It's just you get to know someone, and you have the feeling you know them better. Although we just played 2 games with each other.
Yeah, I have noticed that, and I've noticed that listening to other people's podcasts really is you hear someone's voice over and over every week or whatever, and you feel like you know them, and then when you finally meet them, you treat them like you know them, and it's disconcerting. I've done it on both sides. I've met other people that I listen to, and then I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, and I'm buddies with them, but and then I've had people do the same thing to me. So, but I'm usually pretty open, so I'm a little uncomfortable, especially about Random Screed, just because it is so personal, really. But I'm dealing with it. I mean, it's worth it to me. So it's definitely a very cool thing for me to do, just for me, really. But if other people can get anything from it, it's really rewarding as well. So
yeah, I also like the people who phone in and are very like positive and encouraging. It's a nice way to use social media, because normally with social media, it's all being very negative.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That is it's kind of a good community that's just kind of burgeoned or blossomed from that. So because most of those guys who call in, they have their own anchor shows as well. I don't know if you knew that, but
no, I didn't.
Yeah, there's a G+ community called OSR Anchorites, and that is kind of where we all hang out, and anybody who listens can come there and ask questions or interact. So
seems to be a lot of people from the UK. Is that true, or is it just in my imagination?
No, I mean, usually it feels like those things are dominated by USA people, but there are a good number of UK people too.
All right, cool. I got a message from Ludo. He's trying to join us because he wasn't RSVP'd, so he didn't know that he was actually invited. But if he managed to, get his shit together, he will join us later. All right. So the next morning, you want to do anything before in the night? Rob more people, Ibis? You're muted.
Don't want to bring heat down on us before we leave, so no stealing in the night.
This is like the perfect time if we're leaving.
But we're coming back.
Oh, yeah. There is a village out here, though, which is called Darkmoor, right?
Yeah.
So we might be able to switch home villages. I don't know. We'll see.
I like this place. I'm thinking about buying a house here.
All right, Ibis. I mean, I didn't realize you were that kind of guy, but I'm down with it.
Okay.
There's one piece of information that you also overheard from all the merchants that came to Goldridge. They are all like the 2 pieces of information. They are all heading to Eelton, which is in the south, and apparently there's the big eel festival, which seems to attract a lot of people. And the other piece of information is that the sheriff of Alamein, which is like the bailiff of that place, has been killed, and there's some kind of revolution, chaos going on in the city. So just as information. Okay, so you leave the town in roughly northeastern direction, and at the bathhouse there is Sandor waiting for you. He has a small like backpack and the wizard staff that you sold him, that he's walking as a cane, that he's using as a walking stick. and he joins you, silently. So from Goldbridge, there's the trail leading to the northeast. But if you look at the map, your destination lies more to the east. I mean, do you just follow Zandor? Do you want to try to track your own path?
The destination being the Gibbet Tree.
Oh, you want to go to the Gibbet Tree? I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to go to Zakamala.
We do, but we want to stop by the Gibbet Tree first.
Yeah, makes sense. So then you obviously you take the trail to the northeast, and you make. Let's see. I mean, you know roughly where it is. There's no real danger of getting lost, but we want to see if the scout, for example, sees something, or the navigator making good time or something. So who's the scout?
I think we've had Dougal be the scout in the past, but Dougal, I think you might be. I guess it doesn't matter who the navigator is. Oh, you should be the navigator, Ibis. Dougal, you should scout, and I think Ibis should navigate. You guys are muted if you're talking.
Okay, it's fine. I'll be the scout.
All right.
So scout ahead.
Okay. So it's, I think, 12.
Wow.
Yeah, 12.
You can pick 2.
Scout.
It's on page 19.
Pick. You make a discovery.
Interesting.
And you see sign of a nearby danger.
Cool. And the navigator, Ibis? You're muted.
I don't think he is muted. There he is. I can hear him.
8.
An 8. So I choose 1. Yeah, I think it makes sense that you come upon a danger, because that's what the scout would warn you about. And then we have the discovery. Let's see. Now, can you please roll a 2d6? Sorry, discovery is a d12.
D12.
Yes.
Okay. So a 5.
Cool. And then a d12, a 2d6 for the danger.
3.
Does make sense. So I think when the moment you enter the forest, like the forest proper, there is this feeling of I don't know, like entering a church or something, and you are, full of this holy energy, and actually you see the shimmering light of the unicorn approaching, and she says, "Welcome again, my friends. as promised, I bestow upon you the blessing of the One. And you feel this spiritual energy rising through your body, and I would like to ask you to roll plus charisma to see, what type the blessing will be.
It's 6.
Oops. And Ibis?
8.
So you may choose one.
Oh wait. No. I'm sorry. My apologies. 6.
Also a 6. Awesome. And then Odon?
7.
So you may choose one.
I don't have that.
Oh, sorry. I will post it in.
I'll add it to my sheet then, so everyone. I was going to do that, but I forgot.
Oh, is it plus charisma or is it plus wisdom?
I'm sorry. It's plus wisdom. My mistake. It is plus wisdom.
Oh, I got an 8 then.
Oh, let me check.
Yeah,
Oh,
have a
that
9
doesn't
then.
change anything. It's still a 6.
Have a 9 then.
So let's see the blessing of the unicorn. I posted it on the event page, so I need to grab it from there. Here we go. I put it in Dougal's row or column. So Eva's got a 6, which means you can mark XP. You also immediately start emitting light. There's a white light emitting from you.
Okay.
So guys, what's your choice?
I am going to. I will take a +1 ongoing wisdom.
Cool. You also start shimmering in a white light.
We'll take the one with you can call animals.
Cool. Very cool. So I think you also start shimmering in a white light, Dougal. But there's also like a small sparrow landing on your shoulder.
I'll pet it.
Yeah. Cool. So you can be seen from a certain distance, and especially at night, obviously. Yeah, and I think that's the encounter with the unicorn. The unicorn bows its head.
Oh.
And she says, "Well, you have been bestowed by my blessing, and we'll see what fates will bring you. And unless you say anything, she disappears.
The one always makes me uncomfortable, so I'm not saying anything.
When you're traveling further through the forest, you also like you smell a campfire, and you can see some distance. Like it's to the east, like a couple of barely, you can barely see it, but you can definitely smell that there's something going on. And that's your discovery. So you can choose to check it out, or you can move on.
Well, I warn my companions about that. So, I don't know if we should check this. We can just probably pass them away.
Yeah,
Odin, Odin, it doesn't care either way. It's probably steel-shod dwarves. I think we've had enough of them, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
So ignoring the smell of charcoal, you press on, and for the rest of the day, there's nothing unusual. You do have the feeling that Zandor is a bit paranoid, so he's always looking over his shoulder. He doesn't feel comfortable at all in the woods. But in the evening, you do make good time. So in the evening, you arrive at the gibbet tree, which is, as you remember, this massive oak tree. The bark is blackened, and 3 gibbets hanging from its branches. So what do you do? It's evening, but it's not night yet. And you remember from the last time that this green hellfire arose, shortly before midnight.
Wasn't that only on a certain type of moon, though, or no?
Oh
no, not the hellfire. That's the mandrakes.
Yeah.
What was that moon called? Do you remember?
It was called the blood moon, as far as I remember.
I think you are on top of it.
So what do? Do you make camp? Do you check out the gibbet?
I'm going to say we should check out the gibbet.
I think so, before the hellfire.
Yeah, the gibbet hangs in about, like, you can definitely reach it with your raised arms. So it must be like, I don't know, 6-7 feet high in the air. It's made from this wrought iron cage that the beams of metal are far away from each other that you can reach inside. And there's this skeleton lying inside. I mean, there are 3 gibbets, to be honest, but the one that was writhing in green fire is the one that you're standing before.
Is there a lock on it? There's a lock on the gibbet, I'm assuming.
Yeah. A lock and like a door that you can open.
Can I maybe smash the bottom of the gibbet?
Yeah, definitely.
So the skeleton will fall out.
I can try to pop the lock.
Also possible.
It's kind of tall. Do you want to do that? Do you want to stand on my shoulders and pop the lock?
Give it a shot.
All right.
So do you have any kind of thieves tools? I assume so.
I'm trying to see here if they're included. I did not specifically take any, and I don't see them on the gear sheet for these.
Yeah, I just for completeness sake, you should definitely write down your tools of your occupation. So it's a set of lockpicks. And so you climb on Odon's shoulder.
And I'll get out the lockpicks, and I'm, trying to probably swaying back and forth here and try telling him to stop, to stand still. Try to pick these locks.
Let's do this.
It's an 8.
8. Let me see. Could you write down like 3 lockpicks, and one of them breaks?
Okay.
So 2. And the door opens with a creak. There's rust falling from the hinges. What do you do?
All right. I say you can put me down. I got it open, but I'm not touching that.
What was happening? My wife interrupted me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ibis broke one of the lockpicks, but managed to open the door.
Well, grab the skeleton, man.
Dude, I'm not touching that.
Well, who do you want
grab
to?
it. You grab it.
What's Zodron doing during this? Or Zordon? I keep calling him like different names.
Yeah, like 5 different names. It's still Xandor.
It's still Xandor.
Xandor keeps his healthy distance.
Rondaz, come over here and help us with this. Hey, can I fish him out with my spear?
I think
get my spear blade up underneath his rib cage and maybe kind of pull him out somehow.
I think so. Your spear has reach. It's a long, it's a long spear, and I don't see any kind of danger. I mean, the skeleton will fall apart if you take it out, but who cares? So
that's right.
You fish the skeleton out of the gibbet. It falls to the ground. The skull breaks from the spine and rolls over the ground.
I picture us all kind of like swarming it, like, oh no, step out of the way, as we're all trying to, find the teeth with the engravings on it.
Yeah, that's a cool. That's indeed a cool scene. You you break the teeth out. You check all of them. You check the back side and the front side, and there's no fucking map.
You think it's the wrong gibbet tree?
No, I think that we have been lied to. Map on a tooth. Come on.
Well, I'm taking the skull anyway. Did you say we broke? I'm going to keep all the teeth if we broke them out, just in case. Maybe it has to be under a certain light or under the glow of hellfire. I don't know. There's a reason this hellfire keeps coming around this gibbet.
All right, which brings us to May Camp. It's evening. I mean, you could theoretically press on and travel through the night, especially because you're all glowing. But that would be a good opportunity to rest. Unless you do something else.
Let's rest, and let's do something that I can fail at, so I can go up. So I can go up a level here.
Exactly. So, May Camp. When you settle into rest, choose one member of the party to manage provisions. That has been in the past Ibis.
Correct.
With mixed results.
Want to roll hat?
I'm ready to cook tonight.
All right, step back. Good luck. Here's some herbs you might want to add to that.
Nice. I put a drop of the healing potion in there. No. What is it?
It's 2d6 plus nothing.
Oh, 9. Drat.
The one thing where I can fail without really any terrible things happening. Interesting. So manage provisions. Yeah, the party consumes the expended amount of rations, 1 per person. So you do that, and then how many rations have you guys bought?
I have 11.
Oh, cool! Wow.
I only bought 5.
Thank you. You go?
5 only.
Also 5. All right, and then what is the watch order you decide on? Sandor also, will take part in the watch if you let him.
He can. I think he. Do we trust him? I guess.
I don't think so. I think we shouldn't let him.
So you don't trust him? Then the 3 of you, yeah, you would, wake for or watch. What's it called? Take watch for like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. And is there any special order you want to? Who's first?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'll have Tomas watching with me though.
So Odon and Tomas first. Dugal second or third?
Second.
All right. So let's see who it is. Okay. So Dugal, what do you do during your watch?
Probably just do nothing really. Just observe the camp, pray.
You do hear once in a while.
Look at the animals. Maybe look if the animals are. I mean, this sparrow is a bit strange. Maybe look if they are looking at me or something.
Yeah, it's not sitting like 24 hours.
No, I guess it can and
it
go.
flies away, but it always comes back. You hear the farting of Odon once in a while.
I guess we got accustomed to that. Yeah,
that's true. And so roll plus nothing again to see what's happening.
11.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Which is the night passes without incident.
Yeah, great.
Cool. So the next morning, what course do you plot? So Xandor is now a little bit out of his league. He would have been able to find the tower from Gold Bridge, but now you're like in between within the forest, and he doesn't know the way. It's pretty obvious that it's to the east, but that's about it.
I think I was gonna play navigator, so I'll try and find the way.
Awesome.
Let's do this.
So we're trying to find. It was east of Darkmoor, or it's in Darkmoor.
So the question is, where do you want to go? So there's Darkmoor to the north. That would mean that you travel through the forest the whole time, and that is like getting the mushroom port. But you would also probably need to find a cart or something to carry the thing. That is possible.
Let's go to Zakamala's tower.
Yes.
Or you travel to the east to Zakamala. I mean, you're also pretty near the cave, for example, if you want to show it to Zandor. And you're also not really far away from the Barrow Mount, maybe a day's travel.
I thought we were going to go for the tower.
All right, so you plot a course to the east, and that means you undertake a perilous journey, which means Dougal will scout ahead again, I guess.
Yes. Sharon. It's 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you can choose 2. Yeah, your wisdom is pretty high.
Yeah, +2. Yes. Yeah. So I make a discovery and I get a drop on whatever lies ahead.
I want to veto that because you are glowing like a light bulb. So,
well, then I guess I see a danger.
Yeah, exactly. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you see the danger, which might mean you could avoid the danger. You could circumvent it, but you can't get the drop. And then the navigator. Let's see how quick you are.
I rolled a 7.
I think you go off course. You wander off course a little bit. The judge says which and where you end up on the map. I will do a screen share in a moment for the thousands of viewers as well, and then I can indicate where you end up. But let's see about the discovery. Can someone roll a d12, please?
4.
Ooh, interesting. So let me grab map. So you're traveling east, still through the forest. The trees get sparser now, and the ground is becoming muddy. And how do I do that? Oh, here it is. Oh, that's trippy. So you have been camping here. Oh, sorry, here. And after traveling the whole day, you actually end up, for some reason, here, north of the wizard cave. Okay.
So we no longer glow, right? Because we've left the forest.
Yes, that is a good. That's a good observation. You stop glowing. And while you're traveling through the bog, you see leaning at a tree with a back to the tree a person that seems to have been nodding off or something. There's a stick and a bundle attached to the stick. There's also some kind of instrument, a lute maybe, and a tree corn, deep in what's it called? Like the tree corn is covering the head as if the person is sleeping.
So he's laying by the tree, or he's leaning against the tree?
Leaning against the tree. And it's a ways like a side, you know, you have to actually approach the person, but you can also ignore them.
They may know the bog better than us and can lead us to the tower.
Yeah.
Let's say it's late afternoon. The sun is deep in the sky. It's actually a clear sky, so you can see in the very far from you the mountains to the north. Birds are singing. The sparrow is sitting on the gull's shoulder again. What do you do?
I think we can approach him. Right? Doesn't seem very dangerous.
Yeah. When you, I mean, you are carefully approaching the person, having a look. You are looking at them closely. So I think that triggers perceive. That would be plus wisdom. Yes. You pay close attention to a person in this case.
Okay. So, 8. So
yeah, you can
ask
a question about them, like any kind of question. If you know the Dungeon World question, you can ask them if you want to.
Is this guy armed or protected? I mean, has he some kind of armor or weapon?
Yeah, he has. Let's see what kind of person it is. She has a dagger. But the dagger is in the belt.
Okay.
And now that you are like pretty close, she actually wakes up, and there's like she's talking in a very hoarse voice, and she's saying, "Water, please." And she looks up under her head, and you can see that the side of her face is covered with some kind of what's it called in English? Eczema? Is that a word? Like blotches.
Birthmark or eczema, probably.
Yeah, eczema, not birthmark. Like she's some kind of skin disease. And she says, "Water, please."
I'll give her water. You go and give her water.
So you
I approach her, yeah.
So you get your water skin out, I guess, and she takes it, and you can see when she takes the water skin that her right arm is also covered with this disease, and there's a musky smell coming from her. Like a very, wet leaves or something.
I'll ask her what happened to her.
I'm coming from Darkmoor. They want to prevent us leaving it because of the sickness. It has killed a couple of us. I want to go to the apothecary so he can heal me.
To which apothecary? To Godbridge. Well, I don't think you can reach that. You don't appear in a very good state. Yeah. So yeah.
Can you help me?
I'll try to cure her if I can. If I may lay on hands. Try to cure her. Yeah.
So you definitely touch her. Obviously, touch her skin. Do you touch the arm where she, or her face where you see the signs of the sickness, or?
Yes, I think so. I believe in Urup. I think she will protect me and try to help this creature, this
Awesome.
woman. It's like a human, I guess, no?
Yeah, she's human. You laid hands before.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of visible effect? Is it just the murmuring of the prayers?
Think so, yes. I think there's some like shadows coming from my hands over the wounds. I mean, or it appears so. And maybe just a trick of lighting, of light.
Cool. So let's see. Have you copied the second edition moves to the sheet?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And it is lay on hands. When you call upon the power of the deity.
Yeah. I don't know.
And you have how many favor do you have? It's
3, I guess.
3.
Yeah.
And you need to burn a constitution point, so somehow it is straining on you.
Yeah, takes some toll. Yeah.
Yeah, and so let's get the roll on the table.
It's 10.
Awesome.
So yeah, that
so
would be.
My first question would be, so what do we see? How is it straining? Like, is the blood leaving your face, or you're getting older or something, or grayer?
Yeah, I think my veins are like marked and become like they're. I mean, you can see them almost blackness.
But they're more pronounced, and you can see the
Yeah,
veins.
yeah. And it probably hurts me, but what I'm there, I mean, giving power of my goddess to this woman. So yeah, that's it.
And where you touch her arm, there's you can see that the surface of her skin is falling off, and there's this baby pink, fresh skin under it. And I think you can. Let's see. They heal hit points and or ability points equal to double your current favor, so 6.
Yes.
And that actually seems to heal her completely. And there's still places on her face that seem to be affected, but the arm at least is completely healed. And she grabs your hand and she says, "Stranger, who may I thank?"
I thank Urup, the Lady of Shadows. I'm just a humble server.
Yeah, and I think she kisses your hands, and I don't mean to offend you, Lady Urup is whom I will thank, but what is your name, stranger?
My name is Dougal.
Dougal, whenever you will come to Darkmoor, you will have a house to stay in.
Okay, and what's your name?
That's a tricky question. Is that a trick question? Let's see. Her name is... Her name is Gertrude. So Gertrude from Dark. My mouse just died. I need a new battery. Hold on a second. Okay. So yeah, you do you? So she, I think she gets up, and says goodbye to you, unless you want to say anything else. And she walks south.
I'll ask for directions. If she knows, I mean, we are a bit lost, I guess. I would ask her if she knows the way to these wizard's towers on the east, or if she has heard of it.
Yeah. When you mentioned the wizard tower, she makes the sign of, the sign of, what's it called? Like against the evil eye.
Yeah.
And she says, "Which one?"
Which one? The one to the east.
There are two, Zakamala and the other one.
Well, the one for Sakamala is the one we're interested in.
I think he's evil. Alamakas is the one that helped us once.
And why do you say Salakamala is evil?
It's what the old witch say. The one that takes care of the village. But I mean, she couldn't heal us. So what does she know?
Okay.
And she thanks you again and walks off. Oh, she does say, she points to the east to the towers, but she also says, "Don't go there."
Okay, thanks for the warning.
And then, you can correct your course a little bit, but at the end of your day, you will end up, a little bit to the north of where you were supposed to go. So there's definitely, like, in the evening, you find a dry spot. You're not deep into the bog. There's still enough trees where you can camp at their roots, for example. I also, you hear the buzzing of bees nearby. There's a bee's nest, not at the tree where you camp, but definitely not far away. And if you want to camp here, we should manage provisions, I guess. Let's see. So is it Edis again, or is it Odin who was managing provisions the last time?
I'm open.
Still need to mark XP, so.
All right, I'll try it. 7.
Which is, everything's fine, I guess.
She used 1 ration, right?
Yeah, the expected amount. And then you're making camp again. I assume we just do the same watch order, which is Odon and Tamas first, Dugal, and then Ibis. Let's see. So Odon. Yeah, how does it look like when you take watch? I mean, Tamas is also awake. Do you talk with him? Do you walk around? What do you do?
Normally, Odin can be found, leg kicked up on something, leaning on his spear with his shield ready. He's an old hat at keeping watch. And he also sends Tomas around to walk the perimeter and to check in every once in a while.
All right. So roll plus nothing, please.
Do I get a +1 from Tomas helping?
Yeah.
My dice fell off the table. So 9.
The judge chooses 1. I think Dougal has a restless night. So when you are awake, Odon, and you can see that he is turning from one side to the other. Apparently having a nightmare. Do you let him sleep, wake him up?
Well, I do not wish to intrude upon the Dark Lady's messages to Dougal, so no, I'll keep my distance from that crazy dog. Everyone else seems to have fallen under the sway of the Dark Lady, but Odon will not.
That is true. That is actually the gospel. You're spreading the gospel all right. I mean, Ibis is already one of your acolytes, so sort of. Tamas. What's her name? Gertrude. Well, anyways, so Dougal, I think you do dream of. I think you have like a weird dream of Mushroom Man, which is like what's it called? Anthropomorphic mushrooms. They have eyes and a mouth, and the head is obviously the top of the mushroom. And it does seem as if they, I don't know, like chase you the whole night while you're dreaming. And that's why you have a restless night. Have you lost? Oh, you have your the constitution. You burnt 1 constitution, and I think when you wake up, you still have these black marks. So the constitution is not.
Great.
Okay, so you need to plot your course. I guess I don't know. You're traveling, east towards the tower, or have you changed your plan after the ominous words of the baby? All right, so we do the same thing. I think Dougal is plotting.
Yeah, it's 10 again. So
yeah, you're getting into the groove. Having Dougal as a scout seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, it's easy.
You're not glowing anymore.
Oh. I think I'll discern a beneficial aspect of the terrain, and I see a sign of a nearby danger. Yes.
Awesome. And Ibis, are you going to navigate again? I think you're muted. Still, although I can't see the symbol. That's weird.
Okay.
Jason, Kinote, can you?
I heard him briefly, so keep talking, Sherm. Right now I can't hear you though. You may have to leave the hangout and come back.
Yeah.
All right.
F5.
No, I could hear you. That's weird.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Must be something up with my headset.
Yeah.
All right.
With the cable.
I think you're just trying to fake us out.
Yeah. Rolled a 9.
Awesome. And the 9 again is, let's see, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's roll on the discovery table. Can I have a D12, please?
Sure can. No modifier?
No modifier.
11.
Interesting. So I think the beneficial aspect of the terrain, Dougal, is in the afternoon you see some kind of weirdly symmetric hill. Like it's a hill that would be perfect, for example, to rest because it's dry. And also, you would have the advantage of seeing further than other people. But it's also the discovery, which is as you approach, you can see that the thing is about like it's gigantic. It's 300 yards across. And there's like trees growing upon it, but you do see that it is like weirdly symmetric. It must be like an artificial structure under the layer of earth.
Well, I think we could rest here or explore this place, maybe.
So do you climb up on the hill?
It's easy, yes. Yeah, if I can.
It is easy to climb, but it is actually this is like crazy big. It is like 200 feet high if you want to.
High, yeah.
Yeah, it's 300 feet across and 200 high.
Well, then I don't think so. I mean, it's so big. I'll just stay down. If my friends wanna climb there, well, maybe. No.
I mean, you can climb, for example, to get a better view of the area, but it doesn't.
Maybe Thunder knows something about this place. I mean, I don't know if this is on the way from Godrich. Probably it's more to the north. No.
Yeah.
He knows about this.
Yeah, he says. Yeah, I've seen it from afar. It's not on my way to Goldbridge. I always thought it is queer to see such a round hill, but I'd never, strayed from my path.
Okay. Then I won't climb.
Okay. So then you just. I mean, it was in the afternoon. It would be a good place to rest, but you can also venture forth to make pace, maybe to get closer to the wizard tower.
I say we push on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you push on, and again, you like the traveling through the bog is pretty exhausting. So your boots are filled with water. Almost every step you have to you physically drag your boots out of the mud. There's also the constant buzzing of insects, and you hear the what kind of sound do frogs do? Croaking, I think. The croaking of frogs. And in the evening, I mean, there are like single trees where you can camp at the roots of the trees, or you find spots in the bog that are a little bit higher and drier. So that is when you make camp, I guess. Again, who's managing provisions?
So far, Odon's doing a good job.
Oh yeah, Odon again. 7.
Almost. So that is one. Let's see. That is another ration for you. And we have the same watch order, I guess. So let me see who's rolling. It is Dougal again. Dugal, could you roll plus nothing?
It's at 10.
The night passes without incidents. So the navigator, which is Ibis, you corrected the course so that you're now in a straight line towards the wizard tower, and you estimate from the map that you've seen in the tab that it's about 3 days from here when you're not, when your navigation doesn't fail. So I think in the morning, Odon, what do you find surprisingly charming about Dugal? Which is, he's normally a bit withdrawn, but he has this one habit that makes him, likable.
When he prepares for his day, it's after the night, which is the time of the Lady of Shadows. And this, instead of greeting the morning, he says goodbye to the night. And these whispers that he does, the soft, shadowy whispers, have a lilting cadence to them that even though he doesn't like it, Odin finds sort of refreshing, or it's become, he's kind of getting used to it after all these journeys now with Dougal.
Awesome. That is a
Yeah,
cool
right.
detail. Sherman has
just took
decided
off. Yeah.
to make a break. I would say we're due a break anyways. Let's do 5. Take 5, I mean. We're making a quick break, Sherman.
All right. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. We were due a break anyways.
Yeah.
Are you active on the Slack, Sherman, or not really?
I drop in sometimes. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself active.
See if I heard anything from Ludo. Nope. And one question for Keynote. Have you played another game with a Gauntlet?
No, not really. It's the first.
And signed up for anything?
No, not yet. No, not more. I'm not sure. Maybe depends. Most of the times I just cannot play. Probably it's American time. So yeah.
And Sunday is your best day?
Yeah, like this hour or some later maybe. But yeah, probably. So.
Yeah, definitely. The next sessions will be later. There won't be at 6 in the morning for Sherman.
Yeah.
There will be at 8, I guess. So that would be 5 p.m. your time, Keynote. Is that true?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, 2 hours later. I'll get myself a tea. Hold on a second.
It's actually a good idea.
Alexa off.
Yeah, now Sherman is missing again.
Sorry. Oh shit.
So about Call of Cthulhu, have you made the character already?
Yes, we played one session actually, and it was pre-gens because only one of us had ever even played one single session, and that was the GM, my cousin, and he made us all gangsters. So we're all Irish gangsters, and we actually did, I guess, some adventure that was written for 7th edition. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or whatever, but
yeah, I ran the Crimson Letter, a campaign from the campaign book, from the the core book.
yeah, I don't know if that's from the core book or what it was from, but at the end, you're supposed to cut the guy's head off. And if he gets through the door or something, then you actually summon something and the world's destroyed. So we didn't cut his head off. We actually threw him through the door because we thought we were supposed to. But we were having so much fun. And this is the first time we'd ever played these guys. So he's changed that to be like a dream. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but we discussed it because we really got into doing these stupid Irish accents for these characters. So instead of ending it, we thought we would play again, and then he's going to make it so it keeps on going. Like maybe the guy warned us that this is what would happen if we did throw him through. I don't know what's going to happen, but we had one session. It'll be probably about 4 hours or so. So this will be the second one.
But do you play in Arkham or in Ireland? Like where's the
Oh, it's in Arkham.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we're gangsters in Arkham. So
awesome.
It was fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, I love Call of Cthulhu, and the whole Mythos thing and Lovecraft.
Yeah, I shouldn't say I'm like a student of it in any way. I'm not, but I have read quite a few of the stories, the Lovecraft stories, but I'd never actually played Call of Cthulhu. So none of us had, other than the GM, and he'd played one session at Gamehole Con last year. So,
I mean, the system is foolproof, I think. I mean, it's a D100 more or less.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got like a lot of little add-on nicks and knacks, because you can spend luck now, and how does insanity work, and how do different things, actually work? Like when are you supposed to do this, or when are you supposed to do that?
Yeah.
And I don't think we did it exactly perfect, but we had a blast. So
insanity is so much better than in the editions before. In the editions before, you would randomly roll. Now you are afraid of spiders, although the incident had nothing to do with spiders. And now it's much more personal. Anyways, so let's see. This is the morning of the 4th day. Is it true? 4th day or 5th day? 4th day, yeah. And you're heading to the east again. So Dougal just finished thanking the Lady of Shadows and saying goodbye to the night, and you head off to the east. So let's get the rolls on the table. Dougal, you're scouting again, I guess?
Yes. Oh, now it's 6.
Very good. Make you can burn luck to push it to a 7 if you want to, or you can mark XP, whatever you.
I'll mark XP. Yeah.
Awesome. And then the navigator, which is Ibis, or have been. I think you're muted.
It's going to be 9.
A 9. So I think you can, Sherman, can you roll 2d6, please?
It's an 8.
Eight. Okay, so it is a pretty slow day. Like you do once in a while walk over a piece of the landscape where you think it's totally dry, and you end up, sinking up to your knees in the mud. And Zandor is not really helping. I mean, he has a very keen senses concerning the topography, but he's also not warning anyone of any kind of sinkhole or something. So he keeps dry most of the time. Where you guys, every step you take, you hear the weird noises of mud in boots. And I think at noon, it's super hot. I mean, you're all wearing your leather armor, which is not helping. It's sweaty. Everything is soggy and heavy. When I think from it's a little bit like in a horror film, maybe. There's something springing up from under the mud, like creatures that have been camouflaged themselves with, parts of reed and dirt, and they come from. Let's see how many these are. Yeah, they're coming from two sides, and they look weird. They look like they have a snaky, lizardy touch to them. So they don't have any kind of noses, for example. They have this thin, not thin, sharp teeth in their mouth. They also have snake-like skin, and they are clad in furs, and they're wielding. They wield spears as well, and the ambush comes completely out of the blue. So Dougal, there is a spear, like the guy is jumping on you. He has a spear out, and he thrusts his spear, in your abdomen or something. And you can make what would it be? A saving throw, I guess. How do you react? And you muted?
Yeah. I think I just heard something and try to react with reflex or something. Try to dodge it. I don't know what's coming, but try to move.
Awesome. Make I would say, a saving throw with dexterity, I assume.
Yes. So 3.
So we haven't really established a marching order, but I would say that our scout is obviously ahead. So the guy that is jumping out from under the mud attacks you, and then there are the two that attacking the rest of the group. And the rest of the group is Ibis, who is maybe second, I don't know, in the marching order. Or what would you say is the marching order? Yeah. And then
second.
Odon, would you take the rear, or are you in between?
Rear's fine.
All right. So let's see who they attack, the other two. So one attacks Odon. And I want to say it's Ibis, then Zandor, Tamas, and Odon. And the other one is Ibis. Cool. So Dougal, you the guy actually hits you with a spear and does his damage, which may or may not kill you. It's 1 damage. But he also, the impact of the spear like knocks you over into the mud. So what do you do? And he's like, you see his teeth, and he's coming after you.
I mean, he does 1 damage. I have 1 armor. Does it count? Yes.
Yeah, that counts. So actually, you are, he pushes you.
The impact throws me on the this one. And this creature jumps on me, I guess.
Yeah, it's up in your face, more or less.
Well, I try to wrestle with it, or
yeah. I think that's almost impossible because the spear is between and him. So you would have to either.
Well, try then to. Take the spear. Take the spear to the ground, I guess.
Grab the spear and
grab the spear and yeah.
Okay, so you roll plus. That is a defied danger. It's a saving throw with dexterity. Let's see what the rest is doing. So Ibis and let's start with Ibis. Ibis, you're also attacked from somebody who's just jumping out of nowhere at you. What do you do?
I think Ibis probably just reflexes take over, and the dagger comes, out of the sheath on the arm, the wrist or something, and he just launches it, throws it.
So your intention, I guess, is not so much like, do you want to deflect the blow with a dagger, or do you just throw the dagger in, at the lizard guy to kill him?
This lizard dude pops up from the ground out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ibis his immediate reaction is not even defense yet. It's just throw the dagger and try and kill it.
Awesome. Hack and slash for you, make your roll, and then Odom, how do you react?
So they jumped out at us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first reaction is always going to be using my shield to defend, and then bringing my spear for riposte.
And
Riposte.
I would. So what do you think? Is that more constitution? You're hiding behind your shield, or is it more like strength?
Probably strength. He's going to push forward with his shield and bash the spear out of the way, hopefully giving himself an opening.
I thought so. So let's collect the results. What was it? Dugal, what was your result?
For dexterity, it's a 7.
It's a 7. Yeah, is it dexterity though? I thought you were like, don't you pull the?
Yeah, I think maybe it's more like, but I don't think it makes.
Yeah, dexterity is fine. If that
9.
is like,
I think it would be more like strength or
yeah,
or something like that. But the result is the same. It's like an 8 or
yeah. Oh, it's an 8
or 9 maybe.
So let's see. 8. Is so deal your damage. Oh no, that was not your intention. Your intention was to grab the spear. So I think what's happening is you have the spear. He's not letting go at all, and you end up in the mud, like he's above you, trying to strangle you with a spear. So he's unable to poke you with a spear, but now he's on top of you, trying to push you deeper into the mud, and you can barely hold him off. And then Ibis.
I rolled a 10 to hit.
Nice.
And 3 on damage.
Let's see. So they do have some kind of, it looks like bone mail or something. So very under the fur, they have this bony armor. So you see that your dagger does connect and sticks in the armor, but the what's it called? The brunt of the impact is soaked up by the armor. And then, Odon, what was your result?
7.
Also a 7. So, I mean, your intention was to deflect the hit of the spear and then attack him yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is you definitely don't get hit, so you can deflect the spear, but now he is inside of your spear, so both of your weapons don't do anything, and he's trying to bite you. What do you do?
I want to counteract his move by doing a counter move to get around behind him and maybe get my spear around his lizard-like neck and choke him with it.
Awesome. I want to. What do you say? Is that dexterity or strength?
I'm open for either.
I would say dexterity because you're trying to dodge him, feint, and then get behind him.
10.
Awesome. So he is in your chokehold, and you can choke him out, but that would take, like, we don't have rounds, but that would take some time. Or you can just push him and then I don't know, get into melee again.
I'm going to actually drop down to my back and then use my whole body to flip him away from me.
Awesome. I think that travels, like your the dexterity. That is what's happening. So you get him in a chokehold and then just throw him over your back. So then now there's a distance between you and him. He needs time to get up, and you can also see that that Ibis and the other guy are in a fight. Tamas is actually at your side and is saying, "Boss, what do you do? What shall we do?"
So can I get in a fight with more than one? Like, isn't one of them like over top of somebody, Dougal or Ibis or something, or no?
What's your situation, Ibis? You're muted,
bro.
As always.
I'm face to face with one of these lizard dudes.
Yeah, but you're still standing.
At him. Yeah, I'm still standing.
And I don't know if you can. I think you can see, Odon. You can see that Dougal is struggling a lot. That he's on the ground, and that there's this lizard man on top of him.
But he's kind of a ways away from me, right?
Yeah. You need like some time to get there. You can theoretically throw your spear.
Yeah, I don't like to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of attack the guy who's fighting Ibis from the side and say, I'll take care of these two and help Dougal. Cool.
So let's resolve the situation with Ibis first. Ibis, he's in your face. You are in his face, more or less. And I think that...
Can I ask one thing quick before
you? Yeah,
move?
of course.
So I want to use my no guts, no glory move in order to do this. Okay. So, but Ibis can go. I don't want him to stop doing what he's doing. So
yeah. So I think that the guy is actually using like he's kicking mud into your face, trying to blind you, and at the same time backing away a little bit. What do you do?
I think that if he's backing away, I'm backing away. I don't want to get into a straight up fight with this dude.
And you also hear Odon shouting, "Take care of Dougal."
Do I see what's going on with Dougal?
I think, yeah, in the corner of your eye, you can see that Dougal is on the ground and a guy on top of him.
Okay, then I will break ranks from this dude since he's giving ground anyway. Draw both daggers and backstab the guy who's on top of Dougal.
Awesome. Do you have several daggers? Because one dagger is sticking in the arm of the lizard guy.
Yeah, I have a couple of throwing daggers plus a standard dagger.
Oh, okay. You threw, obviously, your throwing dagger.
Throwing dagger. Yeah, I have 3 throwing daggers. 3 throwing knives and a dagger.
Okay. Dougal, you're on the ground and the guy is strangling the life out of you. What do you do?
Well, I fight him. I try probably to kick him or with force try to...
Yeah. Make a saving throw with dexterity, please.
I think it would be strength.
Sorry, what did I say? Dexterity? Stupid. Strength.
Well, it's a 4.
All right. So... first of all, obviously you take damage. And it's like he's... Jesus, I'm rolling shit. It's another 1. But this time, because he's choking you, your armor is not soaking it up. Okay. And you're actually now under the mud with your head, so you can't see the guy. You can feel him with your arms, but you're blinded. Okay, Odon, you see that Sherman is backing away, that Ibis is backing away, and that the lizard sees you as well in the corner of his eyes, and he's like really deep in the mud, and he has his spear at the ready. He's crouching. He's crouching and you know, holding the spear in your direction.
My formidable war cry comes out. Code Bridge. I'll go running, and I'm going to jump off of something so I can get maybe above his spear and come down with my spear.
Awesome. This is all hack and slash, I think.
Yeah. Fine. Well, I'm going to use my. I also wanted to use my ability, the whatever I called it there. Yeah, no guts, no glory, to charge headlong into battle against overwhelming odds. The two of them, right, are here still.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
You can do that. The other guy is, it's behind you though. So the odds here, the overwhelming odds is, I guess, the fact that you're running into a spear that is pointed at you.
All right. Does that work?
Yeah, that does work.
Okay, good. So I'm burning a point of wisdom, and I got an 8, so that would be an 8. So I get to choose 2. So I will. The opposition interested only in me. I'll take a +1 armor.
Awesome. So, so I think what we see exactly what you described. So you're using, I think, a tree stump is fair to jump over his spear, and you know, like it's in one of these Shaolin movies where time slows down. You're above him with your spear, and now you need to make your fight move, I guess.
Yeah, water, you know, flying up, coming out of the swamp. Ooh, so that would be 8.
An 8. So you do deal your damage, but you also suffer the enemy's attack, and you have +1 armor, don't you? Oh wow, that is an 8. 8 damage.
Oh.
Okay, so the way that I was kind of picturing it, I guess it would be one-handed because I usually have a shield as well. So,
yeah.
So I have 3 armor, so I take 5, right?
Yeah, and what we see is, so you're above him, you thrust your spear down this into the sky, and he managed to fall a little bit to the side, get his spear up, and pierce you while you're flying.
All right, I'm going to spend a point of metal to finish this guy off and increase the damage of my spear.
Awesome.
All right, so I rolled a 5, so I get, that's 7 points.
Let's see. They do have the bone armor. 7 damage. Yeah, the guy is almost dead. Like you must have damaged in internal organ, something like, you know, the stomach or something. But he's still hanging on to his life. Let's see. This is, and you can also see that the second one is sneaking up on you. But let's go back to Ibis. You see that Dugal is completely disappeared under the mud, and the lizard guy is on top of him. What do you do?
I am just running full tilt. Running full tilt at this guy from behind as he's choking Kenote. I've got 2 knives out, and I'm just going to start burying them in his sides.
Yeah.
Trying to punch through that bone armor.
Yeah, and that was you know, backstab is what you said, because you're sneaking up on him. He hasn't seen you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a 9.
It's a 9.
I think it's choose 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose the double damage.
Awesome. That's what I would have chosen. So yeah, deal your damage. I think that
3 from both.
so 6 minus 2 is 4. That's the one with Dugal. Yes. So Dugal, you're still under the mud. You just take 1 damage now for not being able to breathe. What do? But you feel Ibis, the guy that you obviously stabbed, now takes his hands off Dugal, and uses his spear to turn around and to face you.
Okay.
And I think so, Dugal, you feel the weight of the spear lifting from you. What do?
So I get out of the water. I mean,
and you see that the lizard man is now attacking Ibis, and I think Ibis, you can react first before Dugal is able to do anything. What do?
I think that the knives I left them behind. I probably shoved them as hard as I could into the guy's side, so I don't have those anymore. So I'm probably jumping backwards and fumbling for the sword on my side, which I am not good with.
Okay. Yeah, you draw your sword. So let's go back to Odon. Odon, you are faced with 2 lizard men. One is on the ground, holding his, with 1 arm, holding his abdomen and holding the spear in 1 arm. And the other one is sneaking up on you, not sneaking up on you. You can see him, but he's crouching down and trying to use the mud because it's like later in the afternoon. So he's trying to use the shadows to make it more difficult for you to spot him.
So I'm going to call for Tomas to watch my back, and I'll turn to the one who is sneaking forward and attack him.
I think Tomas is trying to. He's turning towards the guy on the ground and is trying to finish him. Before you attack the last lizard man, can you command a follower? You want to see how efficient Tomas is.
A 5. Perfect.
Oh, there's an definitely mark XP. Yeah, and you hear a cry from Tomas from behind you, but you are now. Do you turn around or do you keep your eyes on the lizard man?
No, I'll keep my eyes on the lizard man.
Okay, so
I am a bit selfish,
That's why you survived so many battles with just the scars, and but still with your life. So he's crouching and like a snake or something. He suddenly thrusts his spear forward. What do you do?
4. 4.8. All right, I'm going to. I'm not going to worry about it that much. I have my shield, and I'm going to basically keep my shield protecting me, and I'll also thrust forward as well, hoping that I can get there quicker.
Awesome. Roll hack and slash or fight, I guess.
So I used one of my vices.
Yeah.
So do I get a +1 forward for that?
As a fighter, you do.
When you succumb to a vice, take +1 forward.
Yes.
So can I just use that on this attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that would be a 10.
Cool. You deal your damage. And I think from the description, let's see.
5 points.
5 points. 3. So let me think. So you're not trying to. You're just trying to be quicker than the other.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you accept the damage more or less.
Mhm.
So he's also harming you, which is a 3.
So mine doesn't get through my defenses.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So Dugal, you finally come to your breath. You see Ibis and the lizard man in fierce, like you see Ibis, grabbing a sword, and the lizard man more or less dancing around him, waiting for the right moment to strike. What do you do?
I'll take my warhammer. Try to go behind this lizard. If I can, I will smash him back to the mat.
Yeah, I think he's like you take out your warhammer, trying to swing it, but the guy is dancing around Ibis and trying to take to have you and Ibis on the same side.
Okay.
So it's more like you want to do a direct attack, I guess.
I think so. I mean, if I see Ibis is probably a better fighter than me, I'd probably let him.
It doesn't look like he's better than you. He's fumbling like trying to get it out.
Well, if he's still busy with that, yeah, I'll try to hit him with the hammer. Yeah. For sure.
Awesome. You do your thing. Roll a
strength, no?
Right. Yeah.
That's 9. And yeah, 9.
So you do your damage. At the same time, he's dealing damage. Let's see. I think he's when you hit him, he's lunging forward as well, trying to grapple you into push you into the mud again. So roll your damage.
3. One of them piercing.
Oh wow! So 2 damage actually. So describe how you kill the guy. What does it look like?
Well, I forcefully just hammer him with my warhammer.
So is it like his head explodes? Is it like his breastbone breaks?
In the chest.
In the chest.
Yeah.
So he's trying to lunge at you, and it's like in a baseball game or something.
Yeah.
You just punch him in the chest. Okay, so the last 2 living lizard men are with Odon. You two
I get damage.
You also well, he's not trying. He didn't want to deal damage. He decided to push you back, get you in a like a negative position or something. But Dugal, you can also hear Tamas screaming. Odon. What do we see? Like you and the lizard man are now in melee. You stepped him, he stepped you, and he's dancing around you.
I am going to try and finish this guy by trying to. I'm going to feint with my shield. Like an overhand swing, but instead come down and try to impale him under the chin with my spear when he tries to dodge.
Awesome. Yeah, he's trying to dodge. Do hack and slash.
That's
or fight.
Hear something weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 12.
Yeah. So how does he? He has 1 hit. No, actually, do your damage. Deal your damage. Let's see.
All right, 5 points.
5 points. -2 is the 3. So you do kill him. How does that look like? You feint, and he tries to dodge, runs into your spear more or less.
Okay. That sounds great. Yeah, he comes kind of when he feints and starts to dodge, then my spear is coming right up, and so it goes underneath his chin and up through his skull. Yeah.
And you do see that Tamas also, lets go of his last breath. So the lizard guy has it does more or less the same thing. He pierced him. The spear is going through his stomach and out of the back on the other side. And then the lizardman sees that all of his comrades are dead, and I think, what would he do? Let's see. I roll the die of fate, and the higher, the more likely is to run, and the lower, the more likely is to give up. It's a 1. He holds up his hands, and he screams in very bad human language, "No hurt, no hurt." What do you do?
So Odon was just ready to, after he sees, basically Tomas getting cut down, he was ready to hurl his spear, but he'll spin it and butt it instead, for he is an honorable warrior. And he'll move forward and just knock him to the ground, though, with his shield, buffet him to the ground with his shield. Still angry, obviously, for he's hot-headed.
And you are you hitting him to knock him out or to punish him?
Punish him.
So he takes the hits. He's trying to shield his face. Please, no hurt. I help.
All right, I'll leave him. This looks like a job for Dougal. And go check on Tomas.
Yeah, Tomas is definitely dying, and with his dying breath, he says, like the blood is gurgling out of his mouth, "Master, it was an honor serving you."
And you breathe easy now, lad.
And then he breathes his last breath and falls to the side.
Of course it was. No.
Dugal and Ibis, what are you doing? There's the lizard man cowering in the mud, asking you for forgiveness.
Do we see Dougal? Tomas expire?
Yeah.
I think Ibis just walks over and just cleaves this guy's head off.
Jesus.
With his sword.
Please don't. Okay.
Ibis is known for being a bit hasty, so.
That is true. He was probably full of useful information, but who knows? Maybe
yes.
he was full of shit. So yeah, what do you do? Do you bury Tamas? Do you search the lizardman? Do you just press on?
With a heavy sigh, Odon will take his backpack that Tomas had been carrying and take the load for himself. I'm assuming Ibis will indeed search the bodies.
Of course. And retrieve all my weapons.
Yeah, of course. So let's see. The lizardmen have 6 HP. Uh, 40-10. So you find in total 40 silver pieces on them. And I mean, they have spears, but they don't look much. What else would they have? Like flintstone, these things. I think one of them has a there's like a skin, and on the skin is a map of the region. And on the map, you can see Goat Bridge. You can see the weird dome, the hillock. Is that what it's called? Like the round hill. You can see the two towers, and you can see something like it looks like a ziggurat to the south. And yeah, and there's also like a village to the south, but they have crossed it as if it's, I don't know, like everyone is dead or something.
I show that map, that skin map to everyone. Does that map? I mean, that village to the south, that doesn't match up with the village we were told about.
There must be another village, definitely.
Okay.
But I mean, you're the navigator, so you can definitely see that you are about 2 days travel from the Wizard Tower, if the map is accurate.
Okay.
Can you go over? It was a ziggurat, a hillock, an Xed village, and the Wizard Tower.
Yeah. So again, the hillock, in northwest from where you are, the Wizard Tower. There's a ziggurat to the south, and there's the crossed out village to the south. I will make I will make the adjustments on your map for when if we play if you sign up for the next game, that is. All right. Yeah, so Evis is showing the map to you guys.
Can we use it to get to the Wizard's Tower?
Yeah, you can use it. Is it a question player to GM?
Yeah, or either. I guess I don't care.
Yeah, I think you can use the map to just get the maximum result for navigate. You still have to scout, but the navigation is now automatic. What do you do with Thomas?
I guess reluctantly I will look to Dougal and say, and he seemed to follow the ways of your priesthood foreigner, because I was pretty sure Dougal's from a distant land, right? So in what ways would he was no warrior, he was but a farmer, but also an acolyte of your religion. So I'll leave his last rites to you.
I think if there's some place here we can bury him, then yeah, I think I'll take the body and bury him.
Do you have the tool?
No. Well, no. Well, then if there are some rocks or something above, and if not, just leave him down the swamp, I guess. But I'll pray. I'll pray to nothing.
So you dig like a very shallow grave with your hands. You search for some stones, put them on it.
My best.
Yeah. And say your word. Actually, when you put him down the grave, you can see that he has used this like a piece of string and a cobblestone to imitate your holy symbol, and he had it under his shirt. Anyways, you can it does not really take super long, maybe an hour. So you could travel the rest of the day, or you can, I don't know, make camp next to the grave. I don't know.
I think we should travel.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So you travel further to the east.
Yes.
I'd say we make the provisions and make camp. Who's managing the provisions? Now it's between Ibis and Odon always.
Odon seems to be good at this.
All right, man.
Much better cook than I am.
All the time I watched you. 9.
Okay, everything. Let just reduce 1 ration, and then I think Odon is leveling up, isn't it?
Yeah. After he's done cooking, he'll pluck away at Tomas's banjo.
Oh yeah, you take yeah. What do you take from Tomas? The banjo? I don't think he had much more.
Yeah, and just my own stuff that I'd given him.
Yeah. So leveling up is your current level with, which is 1 plus 15 or something.
Yep.
Let's see. Level up when you have enough time to reflect on your experiences and hone your skill. Do the following. So you know level 2. Oh, you can regain 1 point of burnt luck.
Nice.
Unlike what I just said. Your new level is even, and you may permanently increase 1 ability. And increase your maximum hit points by 1 roll of your hit die, plus con modifier.
All right, that's a 4. So I'll go to 12, but I'd stay at 3. I'm assuming from the fight, right?
Yeah. It's the maximum that increases. And then we guess make camp. So set a watch. We do the same watch order minus Tamas, obviously. And I just roll for who it is. It is again Dougal. It's always Dougal for some reason.
Right.
So Dougal, roll plus nothing, please.
9.
So I think for the sake of time, it is actually Dougal, you who have a restless night again. And this time you're dreaming of drowning. You know, you're the whole time under the mud trying to breathe, but it doesn't work. But for the rest of the night, it is uneventful. And you can now see in the morning, you know, when the sun comes up in the east, you can actually see the wizard tower. So you travel on due east, and let's see, I mean, you can see the tower. There's no way you can miss it from now on. You also have the map, but I guess that Dougal is scouting ahead as usual.
Yes. Okay. Set 10.
And what do you choose?
See a sign of nearby danger, and then I make a discovery. Yes.
Cool. So, can you roll a d12 discovery?
11.
Let's see. 11. Yeah, you can. That was the d12, wasn't it?
D12, yes.
And roll a 2d6, please.
6. That's 10.
So the discovery you make is you can see a little bit to the south. There is another dry like island on the ground. And it is surrounded by a couple of like these white, it's called birch trees, black and white thin trees. And in between, nestled in between, there is, it looks like a marble, I don't know, like a marble stone maybe, the size of a melon. It all looks a bit ritualistic.
It's probably worth some money, I guess, this rock. But it's heavy, I guess. No?
Well, do you approach?
I think so, if there's no danger there, yeah. I mean...
well, you do spot a danger, and the danger is between you and the island, so to speak. There are a couple of, they look like crabs. They're also white, and they're crawling through the mud, and you do see that they have very sharp pincers.
Then I'll think we should go then directly to a tower. I guess make a note of this, probably. And
yeah, you can write it down on your map, and travel. You press on.
I think so.
I do think that at the end of the day, you reach, you can see the tower before you, and you can also see a second tower about like maybe, I don't know, 2 miles or so behind the first. What do you do?
And Thunder knows which tower we're going to. Huh?
Yes, Thunder knows. He says, let's grab my map because I don't know. Yeah, we want to avoid Alamaka's tower. He will spot us and will try to grab me and interview me.
So the first tower is the Alamaka's one.
Yeah.
No, I will go to the second one. I don't know what to think. Guys.
Well, you can maybe change your alliances all of a sudden. I don't know. Any suggestions?
Is there a question here? I think, don't we just want to go to Zakamalas?
Yes.
You're the only one who really knows that Alamakaz is probably the good guy, or at least has helped Darkmoor Village. But to us, we just want the money from getting the stuff from Zakamala.
True. All right. So you probably, like Xander, would really want to avoid being in the vicinity of the first tower. So he's now taking the lead and leading you in a white birch around the first tower. And it is now pitch black. It's pitch dark. I think Xandor probably does have a torch that he lights, and he approaches the second tower. I don't know if you have talked to Ellismast, because Ellismast had this vision about like a crooked tower, but the second tower is different. So the second one is actually very thin, very high, higher than the first one. Doesn't have any kind of, there's a balcony like really high up, and there's like a, a stone wall around the base of the tower in maybe it's a radius of I don't know, like maybe 60 feet or something, not really big. And the wall is also not high. It's maybe it goes to your hip or something. And there's a metal gate. So Xander approaches the gate, opens it, and turns around to you and says, "Please follow me. The master will await us." And you follow through the to the door of the tower, which is like a red lacquered door. There's like a snake head as the doorknob, and there's also a how do you call them, like a knocker. And Xander knocks 3 times and then turns the doorknob. And when you enter into a round room lit by bronze braziers. There are 2 black lacquered tables to the sides with, what you call it, like a carafe. Is that English? Probably not. Like a wine bottle on each.
Yeah, we use carafe.
Oh, you do? Cool. On each of the tables. And there's also a staircase leading up. And Xander says, "Please wait here. I will announce your arrival." From this entrance room, there are 2 other doors, like one on the east side, one to your left on the north side, and then there's the staircase leading upstairs. And then there's the 2 tables with 2 chairs each, and 2 carafes with wine and crystal, what's it called, like crystal glasses. Do you stand there? Do you sit down?
Well, Odin is actually pretty injured, so he's going to slump into the chair and messily pour some of the wine out of the decanter out of the carafe into the crystal glasses.
Yeah, you also, all of you leave these mud footprints on the floor.
I'm nosy, so I'm going to go to the north door and let's just have a look. A little crack.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, the door's not locked, so you can you crack it open and have a look inside. Okay. The room is dark though.
Okay. All right, I'll close the door back up, and I'll go to the one to the east.
Mm-hmm. The door to the east is also not locked. It's also dark, but there comes a strong smell of like moth-bitten clothes. It seems to be like a garderobe I can walk in.
I'm going to go ahead and open that door. I'll look in.
Yeah, I mean the light from the main room is obviously you can see a bit further in, and there are rows of what's it called, like there's 2 rows of like a wooden beam that goes through the door, and there's clothes like old robes and what you put over a robe to prevent yourself from the rain. The different types of clothes and boots.
But they all seem to be really old.
They do seem a bit out of fashion.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are, I assume, moth-eaten?
Yeah, well, you don't really see it, but the smell indicates that that room is not really frequented very often.
Okay. All right. I'll close that door back up.
And Dougal, what did you do?
I just wait in the room.
Do you sit down? Do you drink the wine? Do you stand?
I'll ask Odin if he wants me to treat her his wants. and heal him.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Hold on, by the way, the wine is fantastic. It's like definitely the best wine that you've ever drank. Not that you're an expert, I don't know, but it tastes really good. And while Dougal is treating Odon's wounds, you hear the steps of Zandor. The master awaits you now. But you can finish your blessing if you want, Dougal.
Yeah, I'll try that. I'll lay in my hands. It's 12, 10 plus 2, from 9, 11. Yeah. So.
And you heal 6.
6, yeah.
And again, I think that maybe a shadow moves over Odon's face while the blessing of Lady Urup heals your wounds.
Odon thanks the lady, and Dougal finishes his wine and says, "It seems the host awaits."
Okay, so you walk up the stairs, and then there's at the end of the stairs immediately there's this thick oaken door which is open. Zandor has he looks more ratty than ever. He looks even more like a red man than a proper man. It seems that the front of his face is a bit elongated, and there's definitely all of a sudden like a facial hair in his face, and he has this big black eyes without any white in it, and he says, "Yes, please come." And he has this the posture of someone who is subordinate. Okay, in the room itself, there stands with a back towards you in front of a fireplace, a tall, thin figure dressed in a black robe. He has a like a pointy head, very classic. The top bit maybe a bit crooked. In the room, there's a lectern with an open book. There's a table not unsimilar, like similar to the one that you've seen in what's her face, Nazreen's room. So it's a black lacquered table, and there are runes and symbols scratched into it. And the wizard turns around. This towering figure is very thin. He's a widow peak, and he says, well, my friends, you have come to me, I've heard, to give me a present."
I'm not sure "give" is the proper word, wizard, but I do have this letter from Nazreen.
Very interesting, and I will be very, very thankful. My name is Zakamal. Who are you?
I am Odon, and these are my companions, Ibis and Dougal. And you know your own servant there. Rather worthless in the bog.
He makes a step forward. Well, I can promise you riches beyond imagination. Maybe not the material ones, but items of great import.
I was going to say we are pretty creative.
Well then, the letter.
But first, I hear there is other knowledge we have that may be of import to you, Zakamala.
Is that so? The Lady Nazreen, I've heard.
It's correct. We know where her last summonings took place and what type of creature she was summoning. for we have seen it with our own eyes.
And that letter, by any chance, might be hers.
We did find it in her sanctum secorum.
Very well. I must have it. Give it to me now. And he seems to grow a little bit. The light in the room is also dimming a little bit. I have no patience for your games.
So Odin will slam his spear into the butt of his spear onto the floor. We have little patience for wizards' games. We know that Goodhart Steel will finish you off. Don't try and scare us, or we'll keep the letter for ourselves.
Hey, wait, what?
That looks like intimidate or not. Is that even a move? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's probably negotiate. Would you agree?
Sure.
That is a 2d6 plus charisma.
Probably going to fall on luck in this situation if that's all right.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can definitely roll plus luck.
Let's see what happens with Lady Luck. I follow her much closer than I do Uru.
She's fickle, I heard.
All right, so that would be a 7.
Nice. So he makes a step back, and it's like someone who has trained in front of the mirror to look as if they were smiling. That's the smile he puts on. And he says, very well, very well. No need for violence. I am very, very interested in your information, the position, the location of the cave.
So bring us the chest full of silver we were guaranteed, and I will give you the letter.
And he
and more wine.
He claps his hands and tells Sandor, "Bring the chest and the wine for my friends. Please sit down." And in front of the fireplace, there are a couple of mismatched, very comfortable-looking chairs.
All right.
Do you sit down or do you stand there?
I'm going to go over and put my muddy boot on one of them and offer the letter, because it is still sealed. We've never opened it.
Yeah.
As a peaceful gesture. A peaceful gesture, wizard. Here's your letter.
And he stands up, grabs what's it called, like an opener, like a silver knife from the mantle of the fireplace.
We all step back. Oh no!
Before he actually does look at the seal, holds the letter to the fire to see if it's tampered with, and then opens it. Sandor comes in, dragging a chest behind him, and running down again to grab the wine. And so now you're sitting all around the campfire. Everyone has a glass of wine. I don't know if you drink. The wizard surely does. He has opened the letter, and you can see his lips moving while he's reading it. And then he chuckles and says, "Alamakas, you are a fool." But you three seem capable. I hope this is not the last time we're doing business. Please have a look at the chest. And Sandor opens it with a theatrical gesture, and it does look like considerable amount.
Nod my head knowingly. Reminds me of that one time, Evis. And it starts going into this story about the time he's kind of warmed up from being healed, and the wine and the campfire after days of marching through the Everslaw. So
I take one of the coins out of that chest, and do the whole, bite it, make sure it's real. Take a look at it.
Yeah, fair enough. It does look real. Dougal, do you react? Dougal, you get definitely like, I don't know, something's not right with the guy. There's the vibes are not okay.
Then I probably won't touch the wine. And not even the money. I just stay there.
Wait for it to be over. So I think while Odon is rambling on with his story, Zakamala rolls his eye and cuts through it and says, well, that is really, really interesting, but I have more important things to attend to. So I would like you to grab the silver and leave.
That'll
we can do that.
annoy Odon, and he was about to, say, hey, but what about the location of Nazri? But he's forgotten, so he'll just let Eben kind of draw him off. Ebis, I mean, sorry.
Yeah. Oh shit. Zakamala, like before sending you off, he says, hold on. So where did you find this letter again?
I found it in your hands. Perhaps next time, you old fool.
Very well. We will meet again. And Zandor takes you to the door. Anything you want to do before leaving?
I'm all up for escaping with the prize at this point. We have a chest full of silver. Let's go home and spend it.
Yes.
Awesome. So I would say just reduce the amount. It is, what did I say? It is 7 days of travel back. Do you have enough food?
No, I think I'll ask Sandor for food for the trip home.
Yeah, we'll have to forage.
Yeah. Let's get that roll on the table just for shits and giggles.
I actually have enough. Can we not ask Xandor for food? Do they have some rations? That was a good idea.
Yeah. Instead of foraging, he you get wizard food, which is definitely mystery meat. Tastes like chicken, but there's an aftertaste. I don't know.
It's got tattoos.
All right. So erase all your rations, and then you do. Are you able to? You still have enough capacity to carry this 4-weight treasure chest, I guess.
If we get rid of all of our rations, we probably would, because I could hand someone else my. How close are you guys? Oh, it looks like you have a lot left, Dougal. You could do it yourself, couldn't you?
Well, I didn't count this, so I have 3 left. Yeah.
So if I can pass off some things, like if I get rid of my rations, that's 2. I would be at 9, and then if I could pass off 2 parts to you, then I could carry it myself.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we see Odon
shifting around. Yeah.
Carrying the heavy chest on his shoulder the whole time. All right. And that is where you gloriously return to Gold Bridge. Let's do the end of session move. Which is somewhere. Yeah, wrap up. So, first of all, the fighter. Mark a key if you defeated a worthy foe.
I don't know. Those lizard men seem pretty damn tough, actually, but I don't know what you think.
Yeah, D8 damage, 6
3.
HP, and a bone armor. That's pretty noteworthy. If you're a thief, mark XP if you deceived or stole from anyone. You did steal this time.
I did steal.
The
Good
cleric, if you fulfilled your tenant at least once. You did. You took care of
Gertrude, yeah.
Gertrude. All right. And then answer as a group. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
We seem to have learned a lot about these wizards. Alamakaz is his brother.
Yeah.
And where he lives, and that the other village, Darkmoor, is being is quarantining people, and there's a plague there.
Yeah.
I feel like I put a lot more notes down.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
That's
important
true.
things, but they're.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? I'd say yes again. And then, did we loot a memorable treasure? I would say yes again. The silver chest is memorable.
Nice.
Nice. Kinote and Sherman, do you level up?
Yes, I do. I think so. Yeah.
So you have all the rules, you can just level up. What I did in the meantime, like in between sessions, is I've converted all your characters into proper Dungeon World characters, and I put them in the character pool that all the GMs use. I haven't leveled up yet, but I can do that as well. Or I can just write down level 2 and you choose your options.
We didn't actually cover like our alignment,
Yes,
or like our traits, right?
That is true. I forgot it because it's not on the wrap up thing, but it is actually.
It's like in the character generation or something, I don't know where it is exactly.
Yeah, it is somewhere. I know. Let's see.
So when next time you run this, you're not planning on using freebooters?
Yeah, I do. It's just if you would like to, like have a session or two with another GM, then you would have to use
Gotcha.
the Dungeon World one. Let's see. Hold on a second. It must be somewhere. I think you get an XP for playing your character trait in a memorable way. That was the phrase. Correct. So let's go over Sherman. What is Ibis trait?
Ibis's traits are dependable, hasty, and antagonistic.
Oh well. The hasty and the antagonistic one killed the last lizard man, I guess.
Yes.
Dugal? Oh, sorry.
Focused and wrathful. I am not sure. I don't think so.
No. And Jason?
Honorable, selfish, and anecdotes.
Both the anecdotes and the honorable. So that's
and the selfish that got Tomas killed, actually. So.
That's true. All right, guys. I'm
alignment.
That's also true. Neutral. Let's see. If you're neutral, that is actually on your character sheet. I remember.
Yeah.
I think neutral is what you're supposed to be. Ambivalent. Yeah, and I don't. Well, I guess we are refusing to take a side between Alamakaz and Kazamala, but I don't know if we really played that out. Zakamala. I didn't. I don't think. But
yeah. I mean,
I'm chaotic, and I didn't.
So we went over it, and I don't think we got any. I didn't for sure. I don't know. That's up to.
Kinote, did you?
No, I think we didn't have an opportunity, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I played, so like.
Yeah. That is true. All right, then. Thank you very much. I stopped the broadcast, and then we can have a small chat about, the game.
Okay.